Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series reviews I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited about this because it is a favorite sandwich of mine. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yam around about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside the truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today, folks? Well, it just so happens to be my Son Goku DBZ shirt. If you know, and I'm not even going to go into explaining DBZ. Like, you should know what DBZ is. You should. But no, Dragon Ball Z, all that stuff, obviously it's a huge franchise, like, global phenomenon. I grew up enjoying it. You know, I came up with it back when it used to be played on UPN, Channel 50. You know, and you would get to that point, that arc where it would always go over there and reset because they didn't have the rest of the episodes. Then eventually, you know, it came out on Toonami, on Cartoon Network, and then that was a huge thing. Definitely grew up with it, definitely fucking loved it for quite a long time. I eventually moved on to other anime and, you know, kind of found other favorites and stuff. But definitely still always had an appreciation for Dragon Ball Z, and especially Dragon Ball. I actually like Dragon Ball more than DBZ. But, and actually at the time I'm doing this, sadly, it's been about 2 weeks now since the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, he passed away at the age 68. And that's actually why I got the shirt, because I happened to be out and about, like literally a day after I heard about it, saw the shirt, and it just, you know, it felt appropriate. So, but anyway, let's move from that dourness to something a little bit more uplifting. What am I trying for you folks? What are we doing here? Well, I actually wasn't aiming to try this place. I was actually going to hit up a food truck that I'd seen off to the side of this one building. And so I made my way around, and it turned out that, like, it's one of those, like, rent-a-truck things. It's not actually, like, a food truck thing. So I made my way around to this little strip mall area, and I found a place called Taqueria El Toreo. And by the way, I apologize, I'm going to mispronounce the shit out of stuff. But it's a cool little Mexican restaurant spot, and I've mentioned before, I have tons of awesome, like, Mexican restaurants around me. I've never tried this place. Hopefully we'll add one more to the list. But what am I trying first and foremost from Taqueria El Toreo? Boom! It's this. It's so much stuff. This is their Cubano Sandwich, which, if you know me, you know I love a fucking good Cubano. Okay, alright, this is definitely going to be an interpretation of a Cubano, which is fine. Let's get a thing for the thing. Can we get a thing for the thing? Oh god, it looks like that. Boom! A little bit, and I don't know if there's any way to make this look particularly sexy, but whatever, man, I don't want to spill it. Cubano sandwich, I love them. Typically, you got like marinated pork, sometimes ham, Swiss cheese, or American cheese, depends, mustard, and pickles. This is definitely more of a torta style, and it like looks like there's egg on it. And hot dog, and like, I mean, I'm all for it, but it's definitely not what I would consider a traditional Cubano sandwich. But let's find out if it's good, because that's the main thing. Oh. Bread's nice and soft. Toasted on the underside. Got some guacamole. Yeah, this is definitely like a Cubano torta versus like a classic Cubano sandwich. Which again, it's fine. Just, you know, expectation versus reality. So, I do love a torta, man. It can be some of the most wonderful sandwiches you'll ever have. They're usually some of the least healthy, too. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So, yeah. You got, like, some egg going on, some avocado, Looks like some breaded pork, some hot dog, and some nice, and then you got some veg like some lettuce and tomato. Yeah, that's good. About the only thing I wish the pork was a little bit thicker, just because it's really tasty. But it's just one of those things where it's like, it is cut very, very thin. But like, yeah, that's probably my only real beef. Is just wish the pork was a little bit thicker, just so that I could get more into it. But otherwise, it's tasty. It's decadent. I'm enjoying it. It's a nice mix of certain textures, certain flavors. Really enjoy the pork. Like I said, that's just, I wish there was just a little bit, thicker cut. Yeah. I'm perfectly down with this. In fact, as this is also my lunch, it's okay. Like I said, definitely a different interpretation of the Cubano sandwich. More of a torta style. I like it. I don't think, well, okay. 3 questions have to be asked in this instance. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Do I prefer it over the classic style Cubano sandwich? I'm going to go with, yeah, and not quite. So, I think for me personally, it's one of those things where like the advantages and disadvantages it has are kind of the same thing. Because the biggest advantage it has is that it's not a classic style Cubano. It's something different. And I've personally not had a sort of Cubano style torta like this. Which, for me, since it was good and tasty, means that, yeah, I would probably go over there. I would go back out to Taqueria El Toreo just to get this sandwich occasionally. But on the downside, again, greatest strength is its greatest weakness. It's also not what I would consider like a real Cubano style sandwich, as I know it personally. So that's kind of the thing. But it was tasty. There was nothing I disliked about it. Everything there was cooked well. That's just a good sandwich. It didn't exactly blow me away. Like, I wouldn't consider it an outright highlight. But, oh, and by the way, this is a local spot. Because it is a local spot, it's going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just, like, local locations to Illinois and stuff like that. I'll go over there and kind of spotlight them a little bit. And what with this being a more local place, yeah, it is, again, it's something I would probably go there again because I enjoyed the sandwich, and like I said, I've never quite had a Cubano like this. If I'm recommending it, again, it's kind of that thing of like, okay, well, do you want it because you want a classic style Cubano, or do you want to try their interpretation of it? I would definitely suggest it, but I wouldn't go as far as to say like it's a destination item. Like, if you happen to be kind of in the local area, absolutely check them out. I think they have a nice, from what I could see, they have a nice selection of items and everything. This was a good sandwich. Probably not worth going way far out of your way for it, but it is good. And again, I think if you're in the area and you happen to spot it, and like, it's a cool little strip mall. There's like so many places to eat there. There's like literally about 4 Mexican restaurants, a kebab place, a hot dog place. So you got really good options. And yeah, man, Taqueria El Toreo, I would put them up there as, being one of those good options. So, and then like I said, the final thing, yeah, I still prefer the original Cubano. Like, I like this version of it. It's fun, but classic Cubano is hard to beat. So, anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly Cubano-tastic rest of your life. Because again, classic Cubano, it's a thing of beauty. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Because you're going to do, folks, you're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it, I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations like that, it's important we go over there and, we at least try. We're not always going to succeed. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you know more about Cubanos than I do. Like, I am not an expert by any means, though I do like to try them pretty much wherever I go. Maybe this is like the classic style of it, and I just am ignorant to the whole thing. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty sure the classic one is the one that I'm more familiar with, like the roast beef and stuff like that. Or, I'm sorry, the roast pork. But have you gone over there? Have you tried out a Cubano-style torta or just a, classic-style Cubano sandwich? If so, what were your personal feelings about it? Did you like it? Do you think one is better than the other? Let me know. Anyway, folks, have yourself a kick-ass day. Bye.